official title?
I'm a professor of pediatrics and also of genetics and developmental biology.
Okay. Why did you choose to be a geneticist?
I was always interested in birth defects in children who had problems developing. And once I started becoming interested in that, I just kept going and got interested in genetics, what controls birth defects.
What does a geneticist do?
Well, there are two kinds of geneticists. There's what we call a clinical geneticist, or a medical geneticist, and the other is called a research geneticist. So a research geneticist is somebody who goes in the laboratory and deals with fruit flies, which is Drosophila, or mice, or rats, or rabbits, to prove their identity. And then there's the clinical is where people come to see me because they're concerned that they have a problem that's inherited, and they want to know something more about it.
Have you ever worked with cloning?
That's right.
Have you ever worked with cloning?
A little bit.
If so, what have you cloned? Or what have you cloned?
Well, I'm not the best person to talk about cloning. We can talk about the process. But the first cloned animal, you know who that was? It was a sheep.
Oh, Dolly.
Dolly, the sheep. And we found out that they could take a cell from the skin, as I remember,
Yes.
and identify the genetic pattern in the cell, and then take an egg and take the nucleus out of the egg and take the nucleus from the skin cell and put it into the egg,
Yep.
and then they grow it in a petri dish. So that's a form of cloning.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you if that was that identical thing you just said. I was just about to ask you if that's how you cook. So I guess that answered my question. What was usually identical?
No, well, it depends where you start. But as you know, or you may not know, maybe the controversy we're looking for is what we're allowed to clone and what we're not allowed to clone. If we go out to a foreign country, we probably could clone more things. But in this country, if you receive money from the government to do your research, you're not allowed to do human cloning.
Okay. What do you see as a benefit to cloning?
Well, it allows you to identify the process of growth and development, of how genes work. So if you can find out how genes work, you can find out how to make them better.
So, kind of like medical and social-wise, why do you see benefit? Is that because of that?
Well, because if we know how to make the genes better, we know how to treat somebody who has a disease so they won't be sick.
Okay. Do you find cloning helpful?
That's what?
Do you find cloning helpful?
Well, the big answer is yes. The little answer is it's a lot of hard work and it doesn't always work. For example, there was a disease that was caused serious types of allergies in babies. And they found a way to clone the gene and to put the gene back into the cell to make the cell better. But when they put the cell back, they couldn't control where on the chromosomes they were putting it back. And what happened was that the people who they treated became sick from another disease because of the technique that they used. So cloning is very good because it teaches us a lot about genetics, but we can't necessarily control it, so we have to watch out for these controversial problems.
What do you see as a negative impact of cloning?
Well, the thing really that bugs me the most is that people want to patent a way that would make a clone, so that they want to own the DNA that is going into the clone, so that no one else can use it unless they pay them. So this is a real controversy as to who owns the patent for the DNA. So that's one thing that's a problem.
Well, I have seen videos of cloned dogs. Do you think a human can be cooked?
Absolutely can be, but the question is, should it be?
Or do you think it should?
I think that the problem is controlling the process of cloning a human. Just the example I gave you of when they were cloning a cell for one disease, when they introduced it into the egg, it caused the second disease. So you don't know enough to control it completely, but we're going to be able to do something called sequencing. Do you know anything about sequencing?
No, I don't think I did.
Well, it's a way to look at the gene piece by piece. Think about it like a salami. You're slicing a salami thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, and until you get to a place on a salami where it's not normal. So sequencing allows you to identify every little DNA segment in the cell until you can find when it's not quite right.
With the dog thing, with cloned dogs, do you think how much about would a cloned animal cost, or even a cloned human?
How much it costs?
Oh, sorry, I think that's a crazy question.
To make it.
Well, it's hard to estimate because there's so many things that go into it. But it would probably be in the range of $1 to $2 million per animal clone.
This is another question. Do you think objects can be cloned? In a machine or something that can
Yes, those machines exist already. And the sequence that we were talking about of the normal pattern of DNA, there are machines which can manufacture the sequence. So you don't have to go to the human. You just you pour in the pieces that you need to pour in, and it lines up normally. And so you can get a short piece, a long piece, or a very long piece. The longer the piece that you sequence, the more things can go wrong.
And this is another question of mine. Do you enjoy being a geneticist?
Yeah, I enjoy it because it lets me learn about people. It lets me make people get better because I can understand their genetic problem. And every day is different, which is what I like.
So that's the wrap of our interview.
That's the interview.
Yes.
That was a good interview.
Thank you. That was a good interview with you too.
Good job. That was